Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep. I'm your host, Braylon Edwards. Super excited about today. Obviously, last night there was a little fisticuff situation that we'll dive into, but also some news just happened that I know my co-host Shep
I was waiting
is
last night.
Super excited.
I was waiting last night for a little bit of the ducking,
the bobbing and the weaving.
the bobbing
you know
and
what I'm saying?
weaving.
Get down.
Right? I did see Miles Bridges take that stance.
Yeah, you know,
right, and then it was right.
You know, Miles Bridges from up the road, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They know how to get down a little bit, so kudos to him. But to your point, when the big fellas came out of the woodwork, Miles Bridges was. But that's NBA players in general, though, man. Like with the exception of maybe 15 in the last 50 years, like all NBA players are players that this is how I look at NBA players. And I learned this from Carmelo. Shout out to him. Watch his podcast. It's a hell of a podcast. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I think they do a really good job. I was talking to him. So this isn't me just like talking without having some background where I said it to somebody's face.
Right.
I said, Melo, y'all soft. And this was after the Carmelo situation where KG at the Garden had the little miscommunication, although it wasn't a miscommunication. Basketball players have been protected from the time that they're 11 years old because they're always the individual, either in the family, in the neighborhood, in the school, in the church, that you have to protect because he's the one. Or now females, women's basketball, she's the one. He's the one. You got to protect this individual. LeBron James has never seen a fight in his life. 1,000%. So they're a little bit soft when it comes to it, but certain individuals, like our fellow Beef Stew, they want all the smoke.
Yeah, I look at you mentioned those 15 guys. I would the names that immediately come to mind. I mean, old guy, Charles Oakley, Rick Mahorn, of course.
Okay, Maurice Lucas.
Maurice Lucas, without a doubt. Xavier McDaniel.
Ooh,
okay.
X-Man for
Anthony
sure.
Anthony Mason.
Anthony Mason. A lot of Knicks in there.
Jeff Ruland.
Okay. Bill Laimbeer in there is an agitator of sorts.
Well, the agitator is one thing.
Okay.
Willing to beat somebody's ass is different.
This is true.
But he can take a punch. Okay.
Ask Isaiah Thomas.
Can I bring it? Yeah. See, Isaiah Thomas is, he's
Chicago.
tough. Yeah, he's
games.
tough. Can I add one that might surprise people? I think he's one of the more underrated players in basketball history.
Oh, Ben Wallace. We don't throw his name out there because he didn't have to fight. Just because you don't have to, don't mean you're not an enforcer. People were scared of Ben. That's why you didn't see a lot of Ben fights.
In the words of Kramer and Seinfeld, thank you.
What?
Absolutely.
F around and find out.
I would. Can I just bring up Dr. J?
Oh, Larry Bird.
Because Dr. J, he took the stance and had the.
He was throwing him out there.
He was throwing him out.
I think you know what I see when I see the Dr. J highlight of him punching Larry Bird.
Yeah.
I see years of frustration because he got stuck in the ABA. Should have had me up here years ago. That's kind of what I see.
Yeah, I never saw that from Dan Issel and the Kentucky Colonels, and I never saw it from George Gervin. But I hear what you're saying. Okay,
this is true.
That we're pulling some names out of the hat there. So we're going to get into that. All right. But the biggest story right now, until the suspensions are handed down, the big story is the Tigers signing of Justin Verlander to a 1-year deal.
Bring him home, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you like most? What is your biggest concern in this latest news that Scott Harris has suddenly found a money tree in Sean Baligian's backyard?
That's pretty good right there. What I love most about this is JB still has a lot in the tank. You saw it down the stretch last year for the San Francisco Giants. He found some of those games. He found some of those moments where you're reminded of how good he's been his whole career. So there's definitely something left in the tank for him to be a 4 or 5 here with you in Detroit. 3.5 ERA last year. So I definitely like that. I like the aspect of him and Scuba working together. Listen, as Tigers fans, if you're going to be mad at me for that because Scuba may not be here next year, I understand and I get it, but I'm about greatness begetting greatness. And I think having Justin Verlander next to Framber Valdez, next to Tarek Skubal, you're going to see some more out of Tarek Skubal this year. I think he'll become an even better pitcher, if that is even possible, considering what he's just done back-to-back Cy Young. So I like that element. And it's just something about having JV down there at Comerica Park. A lot has been made. This is more so on me, the nostalgic side of things. I'll let you get into more of the nuts and bolts. It's something about having him back at Comerica Park. A lot has been made since the success that he had with the Houston Astros. Where is he going to go in? Well, he comes back home, see what happens this year, and maybe this is one of those runs where we see them win a World Series. I know I'm going way deep. They win a World Series.
That's all right. Yeah.
That looks a lot different. He wins a World Series here, finally comes back home. It creates a lot of excitement for what could be. It's
fairy tale stuff. If it ends,
I'm a Pisces.
Yeah, there you go.
We live in the big grandiose.
You're a very positive person.
Yeah.
It's fairy tale stuff if indeed it ends the way we think it can for this team. You can never, it's a cliche, but there's a reason it's a cliche. Cliches oftentimes are true. You can never have enough starting pitching. So their starting staff right now would make up of Tarek Skubal, Framber Valdez, love the 1-2 punch, arguably the best in baseball.
Yeah.
Then you start to nitpick your way who's 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. Casey Mize, Justin Verlander, Reese Olson, Jack Flaherty, Drew Anderson. My disappointment, slight disappointment, is that I think the writing on the wall is that Troy Melton is in all likelihood starting in the minors, and I love his stuff. I think he's got great stuff. And that a guy like Bo Brisky is probably not going to be in the bullpen. I know he's been hurt, but so is Reese Olson. So he's down in the bullpen. Who's the swing pitcher? It'd probably be Drew Anderson, would be my guess. Okay. Maybe Reese Olson, because he's been able to do that, right? Olson's been injured. I like the signing. I really do. Have we got it confirmed? I don't know if it's $13-15 million.
So 13, I saw it, and it was going to be deferred. Part of that was going to be deferred.
I think it's great. I mean, kudos to Scott Harris. Kudos to the Tigers for doing this. They waited patiently while so many are going, come on, I want to see something. The Tigers said, hold on now, slow your roll, hold my coffee. I'm going to let things play out. Give him credit, a lot of credit for that. Lone concern, and he's addressed certain needs without a doubt.
Younger pitchers.
No, my concern is, they did not go get the right-handed power bat. I'm not going to bitch and moan about this stuff.
How much money is left in that kitty?
There's plenty, but I don't know how many guys are really like Kiki Hernandez is not Enrique Hernandez, not a power bat.
Also,
so
Dodgers are not in the business of letting anybody go.
Yeah,
as of late.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys. But look, I mean, this is about Justin Verlander, and guys like Andrew McCutchen. Andrew McCutchen is not a power bat. You know what I mean? It's tough to find the right guy for the right place, but you can win differently. We saw that with the Seattle Seahawks, and we can see that with the Tigers. They're going to win because they're going to shove fastballs and get ahead in counts down your throat.
What I will say about this, too, what I do like, Shep, is, one, we want them to try to be creative. That's one of the things we said as it relates to new ways to do deals. Get creative. You don't have to spend all that money right away. Hey, take a page out of the Dodgers book. Well, $13 million is the deal. 11 of that is deferred to 2030.
Beautiful.
So that's how you take chances. That's how you do different things. So I applaud that effort.
Me too.
And keep that going. And also, too, they pay attention to the fan base. Now, that may get you beat from time to time, but in a sense, they know that a lot of people want that guy back. They want him back with the fan base, Shep. I know. Come on, that's the Pisces in me.
Yeah.
But listening to
I respect that out of you. I love that.
But now fans can take a look at that move, and it's not getting a move, doing a move that won't help you in the long run, that really will set you back. It's a move that, has a couple cons to it. But for the most part, it's a good signing. It's a decent signing. You got the deferred payment. So now the fans, you know what? Shout out to Scott Harris for that. Though.
You are right.
Yeah.
Okay? Personally, I don't look at what the fans want. I think you get in a dangerous mood there. But you solved a problem.
Yeah.
And you pleased the fans.
What the Lions bring in Max Crosby?
But see, that's different because he's such a great player. So if
That's fair. I threw you a curveball.
But here's what I would ask you. I like that pun. If I said your team signed a 43-year-old with an ERA close to 4, would you be in favor of it? because he turns 43 in 10 days.
Yeah, we're like birthday twins almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But once again, it's another question that you asked me that we'll get to, but it's about who we're talking about. Does that change it? Or he's still 43?
So it doesn't change it for me.
43 is 43.
It doesn't change it for me. Him winning 3 of his last 4 decisions last year was impressive.
Right.
He threw 152 innings or so,
right,
which you can't knock. It's not like he got 152 out of Reese Olson, for crying out loud. And he's a guy, even though he only had 4 wins, he's a guy who got better as the year progressed. So I do like that aspect about him.
Okay, Shep, you know what? Fair. This is how I'll approach it. I like the move, and I definitely would be skeptical. Wouldn't necessarily agree to it, talking about a 43-year-old without knowing. So I think what this move does, if it works, then it's fine to continue to say, hey, look, man, that was a heck of a sign. He did everything right. Nostalgia, brought in a guy. He was a 4th pitcher. It worked out. Scuba learned some things. He became a better version. If this move does not work, however, then it's okay for us to go, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. Like, realistically.
Sure.
Like, can we play both sides if that's the case?
I think so. Braylon, if I'm going to complain about bringing in a guy on a 1-year deal for $15 million who thought of retiring and didn't give you a start last year, then my guess is I should be in favor of somebody who's willing to take the ball 29 times as a 42-year-old and give you everything he's got at 1 year, $13 to $15 million with all of that deferred. I am not going to complain about this. This is a good move on the Tigers. There are a lot worse 4th or 5th starters in Major League Baseball than Justin Verlander.
Very
and
true.
before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I would remind people that after the age of 40, there are guys who've had really good past 40 careers. Nolan Ryan threw over 1,200 innings, okay? And he had really good stuff still. The same thing with Roger Clemens. Satchel Paige. Nobody knew how old. He might have been in his 50s and still good.
Yeah.
Justin Verlander has that bionic arm that seems to be in that mold. Yeah. So I'm all double thumbs up for it, okay? If you hadn't signed Valdez and you signed only Verlander, I would have an issue. But he's on the back end of your starting rotation. And quite honestly, I said this 3 years ago, I'd love to see him at the back end of my bullpen.
Yeah.
But you've got plenty of power arms back there. You've got Finnegan. You've got Jansen. You've got Vest. You're set there, okay? So he's a guy, I think, who can help your back end of your rotation. And if some of those other guys are struggling in the middle of the rotation, you can move him up. All that is really positive.
It's always been amazing to me, those athletes, that it doesn't matter how old they get. They have that rubber band-like flexibility as it relates to certain muscles, and they're allowed to do the things forever. What I mean by that, Brett Favre is legitimately, 56, 54, however old he is. May not like him off the field. On that field, Brett Favre can still throw that ball 70 yards. Brett Favre still has a hose. I know sprinters who don't have
to warm. Hey, boy, you got a hose.
1,000%. Boy had a hose. Boy had a hose. We know he brought that back. But also, too, I know sprinters that don't have to warm up. Ted Ginn right now. If you had Ted Ginn go on the football field, he can run a go-round. He'd probably be 75% of the DBs in the league. He's just that fast. He doesn't have to warm up. Like, it's something about when you that quick twitch, it's special.
So I love this signing in general. I think there are people out there who could say, you need the power right-handed stick. He hasn't addressed all the needs. They've done what they could. I'm glad they didn't go all in with Bregman. And the 3-year deal with Bichette, I might question a little bit. I guess the lone thing that I would say before we shift topics here, if you want,
I got one more to say about this.
Is if I'm going to give him 1 year, $13 million. You just educated us. A lot of it deferred to 2030.
Yeah.
Eugenio Suarez, who I do not like defensively and strikes out a lot, but rakes at 49 bombs and 118 ribbies. I wonder how they let that get away and go to Cincinnati on a 1-year contract. But that's for a different time. I mean, we were talking before the show, and we eventually come around, hey, you know what? They're going for it. If they're going for it, they would have done that. Yeah. But from a pitching standpoint, you got it. Kool-Aid, you got breaking news here?
No, not yet. Not yet. I was just saying the chat is loving this conversation right now.
they're on fire.
I'm glad they're on fire. Let me add this to the conversation. Shep, do you think because of the Framber Valdez move, because of the energy that we got last week, and we talked, when you make those major moves, no matter what the franchise is, it kind of shifts the energy and it buys you a little bit of, okay, I can trust this GM. I can trust this regime. Let me relax a little bit. Let me chill. If this move is made first, they sign Verlander, what's the conversation today? We're so relaxed because we also know we got Framber Valdez last week.
That is so true. I don't know what the conversation is. I think it's mostly positive in Detroit because everybody wants their heroes to come home.
Yeah.
You did not want Lou Whitaker or Alan Trammell or any of these guys to leave. You want them to retire as yours. And I don't mean coming back, hey, Braylon Edwards is going to sign a 1-year deal or a 1-day deal in Cleveland because that's where he started his career. Wrong. You want him in an old English D again, and you want him to get what you thought this team originally deserved when they couldn't get it done in 2006, when they couldn't get it done in 2012. And that's the emotional string and the emotional attachment I think we have with our athletes here.
It's like when the Pistons brought back Chris Webber. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was a different level.
Weird number, by the way.
84.
Just couldn't get used to it.
I was like, was that like a silent nod to Herman Moore? Was that?
I don't think so. Or Rob Rubik, who wore 84. I don't think either one. So it's interesting. Yeah, I mean, people I think are going to be thrilled with this, and I get it. Here's an interesting side note, and it's not my idea. It's not my idea. It's
bring back Max Scherzer.
It's these guys' idea. Yeah, that would be outstanding.
He still costs too much.
He does, and he gets hurt probably more often than Justin Verlander. Yeah. I give these guys credit. They said it's a way to sell tickets.
Yeah,
and it bothers me because I think that's the method of what the Tigers are doing. I never looked at it that way, but I think it deserves some consideration. People here, because of how much they love this guy and felt like you went away, like they wouldn't feel this about Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford went away, won a Super Bowl. If he were to come back, I doubt he would be as embraced as
he was the best
Verlander.
pitcher in the game when he was here. Matt Stafford was never the best pitcher. I mean, best football player.
Correct.
Best quarterback at the time.
Correct. You could make the argument that he's the best right-handed pitcher the Tigers have ever had. Danny McClain might put up his dukes. Jack Morris might put up his dukes, but he's in the conversation.
Yeah, they lose.
So I do wonder if the Tigers had any hint of that. Like, you know what? We sign him to a 1-year contract. We are getting packed on a Wednesday night.
1,000%. Because what happens in 2026 now, I got to stop saying 25. What happens now in this era is you have young social teams. Young social teams pay attention to comment. They pay attention to content. They pay attention to what people want. They legitimately have charts, and they bring things from time to time to organizations like, hey, look, this is what's hot right now. Hey, this is what's trending right now. Hey, this is what they've been saying. Hey, a lot of hits on bringing Justin Verlander back. Probably started last year on that game, the 3-game streak that you're talking about. So they bring these things, and they definitely look at them. They know what it would do. You know what it is. Like bobblehead night, nobody's bobblehead night has ever drawn more crowds than Justin Verlander, including Mr. 500 Miguel Cabrera. So you bring him back, and he's still operating in a plane where he's winning games, where he's competent. Yeah. He's going the distance, unlike some people. No, I'm sorry. That was like that. See, my boy came home. Now I'm talking stuff about the current guy. No, but with that being said, they know. They know the algorithm, and they know it's one, we're selling tickets. They're coming out to see him. And 2, we're not mad at putting him on the mound because we actually trust the stuff he has. So it's like 2 birds, 1 stone.
Well said. The marketing aspect, and I'm sorry, but that's part of business. Yeah. Baseball is big business. This bull crap about sports is entertainment. No, it's not. It's massive business. When you sign billion-dollar TV deals, when you sign players to multi-million-dollar contracts, you think it's just entertainment? Wrong. It's huge business. Ask the Dodgers. But think about it from a marketing standpoint. You've got Tarek Skubal. Who wants to go see him pitch? Everybody raises their hand.
Yep.
You got Framber Valdez. Who wants to go see him pitch? You've got Justin Verlander. Who wants to go see him pitch? I think that's a big part of it. Now, I could bring up Casey Mize, and nobody will raise their hand. He was an all-star last year and led the team in wins.
14 wins.
Okay? That's pretty impressive of what you can do on any type of elongated homestand where nobody's going to see Drew Anderson. Nobody's going to see Reese Olson.
Also, too, when you have like iconic players like Verlander that still have something in the tank, it's twofold. When you're going to see Skubal, when you're going to see Valdez, you're just going to see them dominate. You're just going to see them win. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. Like if they lose a game, you're legitimately like F. You know, like, that's what you are. Like legitimately. With Verlander and players on this level, it's 2 things. It's 1, I want to see him win. Can't wait to see him in uniform again. Yada, yada, yada. And 2, I just wonder if tonight's the night he shows what he used to have. I wonder if tonight's the night I see something special. And every time you go see a JV start or a JV game or when you know he's in the lineup, that's going to be in your mental. Is this going to be the night he reminds us why he's must-see JV? Shout out to Kool-Aid for throwing that in the chat. So, like, you get twofold when you do it. So it's marketing from marketing's point. It's well done.
Yeah. You know, it's not – I'm not trying to quote a Huey Lewis song, but you do. You go back in time for something like this. If I said to you, Justin Verlander threw 152 innings, where do you think that would rank on the Tigers from a year ago?
1?
No, Scuba would be 1.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say he's top. He's up there, 2, 3.
Third. Yeah. At 42, he threw more innings than anybody other named Tarek Skubal and Jack Flaherty, who led the league in losses.
Could have kept some of those innings. I'm sorry, Jack. I'm sorry. I told you I'm excited, man. My boy's coming home.
No, the people are fired up. We got 8 super chats on this one subject.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm
run with it.
I'm starting with the $10 ones, man.
Okay, Ronaldo Nehemiah.
J-Rod Sayers with the
out.
$10 super chat. He has the #1 crown. He says, Shep, any idea on how MLB will arrange the 2028 schedule? Given MLBPA interest in playing for Olympics in LA, can't imagine a 2-week break like NHL does for winter games.
That's a hell of a question.
Yeah, I don't think they'll break it all. I think you'll lose players, and you'll have to make up those players. I would guess Major League Baseball would allow you to expand your roster a little bit to allow for that. And you're not shutting the game down for 2 weeks in the summer just because look at how long it would take you to make it up at the back end. You're already playing too long as far as I'm concerned.
162, a lot different than 82.
Yeah, for you to be playing in late October is, I think, moronic. But
they finished in November the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. That's stupid.
Thanksgiving. Hey, so how long before we get to the Lions and the Tigers are playing on the same day?
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Thanksgiving Day. I mean,
other
they've done it before.
other than a preseason
Playoff
game,
game.
Yeah, other
which
than
happens.
a preseason game. Yeah.
I would guess if every team had a bubble, if every team had an indoor stadium, I wouldn't put it past Major League Baseball to try to expand the schedule and try to expand as far as you can go. Personally, I wouldn't go up against football, but
I'm actually lying. I almost got a chance to go to that same thing. When I was playing for the Seahawks, we came here to play the Lions. The Tigers were playing the San Francisco Giants. So, like, they played the Giants Saturday, and then we played and lost. I can't believe I lost to the Lions. Anyway, lost to the Lions that Sunday. So it was close.
Did you? So you went to that game against San
No,
Francisco?
I was playing. I was playing for the Seahawks at the time.
No, I'm saying you went to the game against San Francisco.
No, because my mom cooked. My mom cooked for the whole squad.
I would miss that too. For your mom's cooking.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kool-Aid.
Yeah, definitely.
Shout out to your mom.
The next one, Jarrell with the $10 super chat says, 40 is not the death of careers. I honestly believe Braylon can go catch 70 passes and 1,400 yards in the NFL.
Yes.
You know what? I appreciate that, man. and to be honest, I actually had more yards and more catches than that on my Madden 26 season. So what I did was, no, I appreciate that, man. That's love, man.
There's some teams that could use you.
You know what I'm saying? The upper,
Amen.
Yeah.
Hey, you feel me? I got, like I said, I'm gonna start bumping up. I got 8 plays in me.
There we go.
I got 8 plays, 2 plays a quarter. They just all have to be in the red zone.
Just don't go to a
And that'd be more than Tesla.
There you go.
I would. It would be more than Isaac Tesla. I would say
Lions
this.
catching strays.
It's much different today. LeBron James has proven that. Tom Brady has proven that.
That tire's starting to fall off on LeBron though. He cut that hair off.
Yesterday's game was kind of
I want to be, and this is no shade to LeBron. This past month is the first time I started seeing like those unathletic plays to let you know that like it's coming.
Dribbling off your feet isn't athletic?
Like it's coming.
Yeah, well,
now, he's 41, so like he deserves all the credit for that part, even though it's a little.
I don't like him, but he
sauce.
does deserve. He had a dunk last night that was pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, what did he do after that dunk? He tripped on that hamstring.
But I think you've seen it. Look, Serena Williams is a good example. Dana Torres as a swimmer is really good. I mentioned Nolan Ryan before.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, George Foreman in boxing. Martina Navratilova. So the 40-year-old is not what you used to think. One of our
that was like 6 in like the past like 40 years though.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep going.
Vince Carter.
Ooh, okay.
Nick Lidstrom. Nick Lidstrom might have been as good at
good one.
It might have been good at 40 as he was.
He was
Chris
like
Chelios
great still. Yeah.
Chris Chelios was still a baller at age 40. So I don't know, man. I think a lot of these guys, the way they play, the way they take care of their body, and I'm not talking about golf here, okay? I'm not going to go, Phil Mickelson and all that other stuff. But the way they're able to keep their bodies healthy, I agree with the person in the chat. I mean, I don't think 40-year-old is necessarily a bad thing, but eventually at 43, pitching is a little different, how you take care of your arm. Pitching at 43 with the amount of innings that he's thrown.
Already,
yeah, in his career. The beauty of what Verlander has always been about is he's a workaholic in the offseason. So he's going to work his ass off on his legs and his ass, which is needed. Like everybody thinks, pitchers got to take care of their arms. You know this better than anybody. You got to take care of the lower half, and he has always been diligent in that regard. So I'm with you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's take a quick one, and we'll get back and we got like 5 or 6 more of these from the chat family.
Okay.
I know also everybody want to get to that fight. we'll get to
it.
The fight.
Yeah.
Calm down.
This is a big story, everybody. There's plenty. You're not going anywhere. You're not leaving the Braylon Edwards show, for crying out loud. We're here for 2 hours. Kool-Aid's going to give us breaking news. And we've got really good stuff. Plus, Braylon's got his top 5 teams whose window might be closing. I know. I don't necessarily like that. But
No.
Go ahead.
We're going to do that tomorrow.
We're going to do that tomorrow. I'm
top
sorry.
8 quarterbacks in the NFC.
Top 8 quarterbacks in the NFC now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. One more super chat before we hit the break and hear from Ben Johnson?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely get another one in there. Let's see here. Does this mean Scooble is getting traded? That's the $2 super chat from Mr. Randall Smalls.
This is what I've been saying.
Is it letting us down easy?
After the signing of Valdez and then a signing Verlander, everything happens for a reason. I can see it for things to come. I've been saying about this whole paying Scooble situation, there's no good outcome, right? It gives us a bad rep for not paying our guy, but 2, why would Scooble want to stay? He brought both his Cy Young wins to his arbitration because that should have been the only argument he needed to get paid his full amount.
But he didn't need him. Need him. So he did get paid. He got paid $32 million. But to your point, why would he stay? If you win a championship, it might help. It might help. I'm not saying it will. I don't think it means they're getting traded at all.
Kawhi Leonard.
I think it means I think it means this team is this team feels like there's an opportunity in the American League. Toronto's going to have to say something about that. Seattle will have something to say about that because Seattle's starting rotation is still, I think, the best in the American League. It's telling everybody on this team, you guys, you wanted something. Remember what Dylan Larkin said to Steve Eisman last year? This is a message to everybody in that clubhouse. This is how we feel. We feel like we're going to get it done. I don't think it means they trade Tarek Skubal. I think it means, if anything, I think it reinforces their belief that this is what it's all about. We're going to win with pitching. Now, we can argue on whether or not that's the right approach. That's fine, Alex. I got no issue with that. Because, I don't think he's going to be back here next year either, and I don't think he's taking any damn hometown discount, nor should he.
No.
But I don't think it means they're trading him.
You know who will be here next year?
Van Johnson.
Because he's always there. He's the fighter, and let him fight for you. Whether it's a settlement or a verdict, it does not matter. Let Ben Johnson Law represent you. That law group, they are amazing. They've been doing it for a very long time at a very high rate. Like I said, settlement, verdict, it does not matter. When corporations and government, when they try to get your pockets and your money, don't let them happen. And how you do that, you reach out to VEN-Fights.com.
Yes, sir. I'll tell you who else is the best. Art and Jake's. I mean, if you want to go watch an event someplace, you want to go to a place that's got a lot of TVs because, you get people who aren't really, very courteous. They're standing up trying to block you. You got 80 wall-to-wall televisions. You want a place where you've got a choice. They've got 22 draft beers on tap. You want to go to a place that has really good food. Art and Jake's has excellent food. I've tried it. You'll love it. And we've got the atmosphere you want for the Michigan State Hoops Watch Party Sunday, March 8th at Art and Jake's in Northville. Head there and enjoy yourself and wear your school colors proudly. And then head back there just 2 days later on Tuesday, March 10th as legend Darren McCarty brings the slapstick comedy show at Art and Jake's in Northville at 7 o'clock. Hoops on Sunday, DMAC on Tuesday, Art and Jake's in Northville. Be there.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. With over 50 metropolitan Detroit locations, it's the gym for you. Enough of that. Big news at Planet Fitness. Up until this Friday, if you sign up, you get your first month free. That's right, your first month will be free if you sign up before February 13th. In 2026, Planet Fitness is inviting everyone, whether experienced, routine gym goers, or beginners just starting their fitness journey. With over 2,800 clubs around the country, you know Planet Fitness knows what they're doing. Gyms are clean, squeaky clean, trainers on staff, and there's no judgment. So come on down to Planet Fitness, and remember, we're all strong on this planet, and that planet is Planet Fitness.
You know, and your shirt is spot on.
Appreciate
with
that.
Planet Fitness. Okay, looking good as always. Always feeling good and always drinking right. Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea, really good stuff, man. I mean, it's on point. 100 calories, 4.5% alcohol. It is perfect to celebrate the Justin Verlander news today. Go ahead, grab a can, give one to a friend, clink, and say, here's to JV, and here's to you. Sun Cruiser vodka iced tea, as long as you drink responsibly.
And we back.
This is so funny. Some of the people in the chat, it's pretty funny when they go, who gives up more homers, Mize or Verlander. Well, power pitchers have a tendency to do that. All right,
on the opposite side.
So I get
It's
it.
just how physics works.
Well, that's how baseball works nowadays. Because on the opposite side, you're either hitting home runs or you're striking out for the most part. So kind of comes with the territory.
It's just funny in the chat that's kind of where people's minds go every once in a while.
Can I make a public service announcement real quick? This is just a quick request.
It's your show. Go.
I appreciate that. This is just a request, okay? And it's our show, always will be. You know what I'm saying? My name's first, but it's our show. Planet Fitness doesn't judge. It's home of the judgment-free zone. There's no judgment around. We do not judge at Planet Fitness, nor do you at the gyms. However, wash your ass and wear deodorant and use soap. 'Cause, it's very crazy to me to come into a gym where you're going to sweat and not necessarily take care of your hygiene the correct way and then go through a workout. And then now as I'm sitting here doing my sets next to a machine that you're using, I can smell, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. And I ain't talking about The Rock and WWF back in the day, WWE. So look, I don't want to smell what The Rock is cooking. So wash your butt. Put some deodorant on. I know it's hard for some people to believe in that. It's okay to use deodorant. It's okay to use just a little bit. I would ask. There's no judgment. I'm not judging you, but my nose is. Okay, so I just a little bit. You see, I got the purple on.
Can I just say? You just said what everybody
is
thinking. Okay, because I'm with you on the same. And can I just add one more thing?
If
you're in the shower area, can you put a towel on? I mean,
please.
I know some guys. It's hard for them to do that. With the twisting because you still got a ways to go in the workout world. But you can put two on, or how about just holding on to it?
Yeah.
I would prefer that. Male bodies are gross, period. All right? Women don't want to put on a towel. That's okay, Guys, wear a flipping towel.
See, we think that. There's a lot of those bodies you don't want to see either. Note to self.
That is true.
Wash your butt and clip your towel. All right, back to regular question program.
Can we clip that, Alex? Clip that.
Little-
Wash your
little
ass. Can you just
PSA.
clip that for us and we move forward?
All right.
Be a new sound bit coming up.
It would be good. Yeah, we could use that
watch
as
your
drop in a lot of different areas. I would say when
Come
somebody
on.
said who's going to give up more homers, just remember Jack Flaherty gave up more homers than anybody on the Tiger staff last year. All right.
True.
Jay Flair.
Yeah.
You know
So
what body I want to see?
Quite literally.
Justin Verlander.
what's that?
You know what body I want to see? What male body I want to see?
You want to see him on the bump? I don't blame you.
JV.
There we go.
Not
Now-
a
I like it. On the mound.
I don't have their schedule in
And
front of me,
gear.
so forgive
And
me.
deodorant.
Talking about bodies, Michael Wary,
Body
Freddie
shame.
Felt sends in a 199 super chase. Says, welcome back to Detroit. Kate Upton, JV.
Hey,
Oh, good call.
That's a body I like.
he
to
is
see.
not.
Alex,
That was it.
that was on
that
point.
was the one.
That was right there.
That was the double.
I do believe Kool-Aid teed you up for that. That was well done.
You'll see him in this area. Everybody knows he's Mr. Birmingham.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he'll
100%.
probably get same place, But it'll there's a part of you, whether you agree with the signing or not, there's a part of you that it'll bring a smile to your face when he makes his first start at Comerica Park.
After he throws the first pitch, it's all business.
Right, but everybody there, and rightfully so, will give him a standing ovation. Now, would I rather have his ex-teammate Hunter Brown, who's from Detroit and went to Wayne State? Yep, I would. But this is a good signing for Scott Harris and the Tigers, and I give him a ton of credit for doing it. Go ahead.
Oh man, the chat is on fire today, man. Shout out to the chat. You know what? This one's a real quick one. Freddie Felt, real important one actually. 199 says, "Rest in peace to the greatest beat maker of all time, Jay Dilla." I know Freddie Felt actually has a pretty unique connection with their family, man. Jay Dilla, one of the, if not the best producers from Detroit and probably from this region, and the type of music that he made, I feel like he trendset it.
Okay.
His style is something that you hear a lot of backpack rappers start to pick up an era after his group Slum Village kind of came to fame with Kanye West and such.
So help us with this. When did he pass? How old was he?
2003, maybe?
Oh, I thought it was recent.
And they did name a street after him
maybe
recently.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the street name
0205.
dedication.
Yeah, he basically the music and his production and his beats, he kind of brought in that urban 70s soul vibe, if you will, but then transitioned it to a little bit more of a like a grittier vibe so that rappers could rap over, but it was more conscious rap. It wasn't nonsense rapping over it. So 06. Because I know I just got in the league. Yeah. So shout out to Jay Dilla.
That's good.
A lot of the artists at that time talk about he was the one that was on the way, and rest is history.
I've told you the story with Dr. Dre and me, right?
Dr. J.
No,
Dr. Dre.
Wait, Dr. Dre. I thought I heard Jay. Now both
Dr.
headphones
Dre.
are on.
So I'm kind of, not necessarily in that scene. You know the music I listen to.
Yeah.
So he was in town producing Eminem's album. Didn't know who he was. I'm at the gym. He's at the gym, and we end up doing chest and same exercises and helping each other out and spotting a little bit and just casual talk. Nothing big. It's not like we exchanged phone numbers. Anyway, go home later that night. I'm watching TV, and there's a Dr. Pepper commercial, and I said, "God, that guy looks familiar." And my son looks at me. He goes, "Yeah, no kidding, Dad. That's Dr. Dre." I said, "Well, I don't know who that is. I'm just telling you that guy looks really familiar." And then later on in the evening, I said, "Oh, geez, I worked out with that guy today." And my son just about dropped his glass. And he's like, "You worked out with Dr. Dre?" I said, "Yeah, I have no idea. I had no idea who he was. But he was a nice guy. And he's also yoked." So I go back to the gym the next day, and I see my friend, the trainer, Kevin. I said, "Hey, Kev." He's like, "Yeah, Shep, you realize you were working out with Dr. Dre, right?" I said, "No, I have no idea. Why is he in town?" So you had to educate me. So there you go. So
Shout out.
another producer. Yep. But a very nice guy.
And we got a few more here. Michael Wary.
We got to hurry up and get through these. We got to talk about this fight.
We got three.
It was a whole fight last night.
Three more.
42 minutes in, we ain't said nothing about it.
Look, Michael Wary was reminding us $2. Tigers signed Justin Verlander to the 1-year deal. And then he also says pitchers look good, but we need a right-handed bat. And Randall Smalls, with a $5 super chat, he says, "I'm so excited. I will be at spring training March 12th through the 18th.
Good.
It's going to be nice for him.
We're living in a really cool time right now, if you think about it.
For Detroit sports.
Well, I mean, the Pistons are the best team in basketball.
The Red Wings are right there.
The Red Wings are right there. I don't think anyone's lost faith in the Lions. They're disappointed, but they haven't lost faith. The Tigers are not just a prohibitive favorite in the division, but I think this might help them inch a little bit closer to either Seattle. I think has the upper hand right now. They're in the conversation, and then you've got two excellent basketball teams. Arizona lost last night, so Michigan's going to be number one as long as they take care of business. Michigan State's a top 10 basketball team, and their hockey teams are 1 and 2 in the country. When's there been a better time than this? It's tough to find.
Once fall starts and the Lions start playing again.
It happened recently, and it's literally the similar thing, just minus a couple teams. I think 23, Michigan State basketball was good. Michigan won the national championship. Lions were number 1 in the NFC. It was
Michigan won the national championship in what? Football. I'm sorry.
That did happen.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about basketball. I'm like, whoa.
No, football. Yeah. And then hockey, they were Frozen 4 again that year. I think they finished as high as 3 that season. But to your point, it's
Red
every
Wings
single
and Pistons
sport.
were bad, right?
They were bad.
Yeah.
This is every single sport.
Yeah, this is every single sport. I don't want to get too hyperbolic because I'm sure it happened back in the early 2000s. But when you look at what Michigan and Michigan State bring to the table, I think it only adds to it. Any more super chats before we shift gears, download into the fight from last night in Charlotte?
That is it for now, but the chat family has been showing out today. Thank you guys for being here. Smash that like button if you didn't get an opportunity to, but send in more of those super chats, especially as we move into the Pistons convo.
Yeah, listen, and you're going to help us with breaking news.
Yep.
All right, when those suspensions are handed down to... Well, all we really care about is Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren, right?
Yeah.
That's all. It sure isn't going to come for Duncan Robinson. So as you look at what happened last night.
Jeez Louise. My guy.
Well, what's he going to add to that fracas?
Go break it up, man. This is basketball. They're not over there throwing punches like Duncan. And that's literally in my notes. Like as we break down the fight, I have how I saw it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bulletin points on what I saw in the fight, and bulletin point number 5, Duncan Robinson. This is unexcusable.
Yeah, all right,
do something.
Let's start at the beginning. Okay?
Get off the court if you're not going to do anything.
Let's start at the beginning. First and foremost. All right, and we're all Pistons fans here. Jalen Duren,
hold it,
with a hand on someone's face, Diabate, hand on his face. Where do you stand with that? Because you always say, don't. I mean, you came over and just tapped me and said, sorry, I didn't mean to put my hands on you. I don't care. That's a different type of hands on somebody.
We got to start this back. Not you. Just the conversation mentally. the start of this play before they inbounded the ball, there was fighting with Moses Diabate. Like, he legitimately was all up in Jalen Duren's grill. He started, he initiated. And the reason why he initiated is because after halftime, they started dominating the paint. They blew them out in the paint. They couldn't stop them in the paint. They started missing all these three-pointers. So the frustration led Diabate to that moment. Now he fouls him the whole play, the whole inbound. He gets the ball, talking about Jalen Duren. Then he fouls him the whole time from touching the ball until the foul happens. Now,
then the headbutt.
And then, well, now I'm caught up to that part.
Okay.
Now you asked about the hands to the face. Moses Diabate, in my opinion, was the more aggressor with the headbutt.
Yes.
And in my opinion, if you headbutt me, I am going to mush you just like Jalen Duren did. You're not going to headbutt me. Because the reason why Diabate is so mad, reason why he's so mad is because he went with the hard, aggressive headbutt, but he didn't think Jalen Duren was going to respond. So he thought he would be able to headbutt him and then kind of prop his head up and see, what you going to do now?
Like, I'm about that life,
what you going to do now?
bro.
But he headbutted the wrong one. He F around and he found out. Jalen, who's 6'10", muscular frame, he did what he did. He mushed him. And I think Diabate's embarrassment led to all the running around and all the circus act, because he never really wanted to get all the way back up to Jalen Duren. He just was getting close to doing.
I do like how Duren, he just calmly just was looking at him, so like he was backing down. Right.
Shout out to Uncle Tobias.
It may have been fake. I don't know. I think he's going after him.
Look at Darren just walking back. Dog.
I don't
That's
think
fake.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I don't think. Well, wait a minute. How is that fake? Diabate's charging after him.
Tobias got him with one finger, man.
We've seen this in basketball for 40 years.
I understand.
You see the aggressor, oh my God, I got to get to you, and you know somebody's going to hold you. You know there's not going to be a fight. Because name me the NBA game since Kermit Washington knocked out Rudy Tomjanovich that you've seen fisticuffs, like legit.
Yeah,
Chris Childs and Kobe.
That was a sucker punch. I mean,
but I'm saying
Robert Parrish and Bill Laimbeer, I remember, was pretty good. Charles Barkley and Bill Laimbeer
80s.
was pretty good. Yeah, 80s. Yeah, I hear you. I'm just saying he's not backing down. I don't look at it like it's a fake aggression.
Right.
I look at it like a guy who does want a piece of him. He keeps moving forward. Whether people are in his way or not, he's still moving forward. And look, if you're from a Charlotte standpoint, you're looking – Jalen Duren's the one backing up. How come we're not looking at that?
Because Jalen Duren was there, and you didn't do it when it was there, when it happened. Like, if you were that aggressive in the beginning, Shep, like, as opposed to headbutt, throw your hands up.
Yeah.
Because if you know you're that mad, if you were that mad before he mushed you, or whatever that anger was his frustration, disappointment, you were upset, whatever, you had that type of animosity at that moment. When you headbutted him and threw your head up there, instead of headbutting, you should have pushed him if you was about that life.
Yeah.
But instead, you headbutted him. And
I don't think Jalen Duren has to worry about a damn thing. I mean, his size at 6'10",
when you know,
250,
you know.
and I think he's such an important player. I know he's going to get suspended. How much? I would guess 2 games. That's just a guess. Okay.
I'm thinking 1 or 2 maybe. He didn't really throw no swing.
Diabate's going to be he threw more than 1 punch.
Oh yeah.
He was the aggressor. So there's at least 5 headed his way.
Oh, yep.
Okay, that's the guess. So that's the precursor. What do you think?
Maybe more.
I don't think that made for Diabate. Like,
No?
he never connected outside of the headbutt. Like, he didn't connect. He ran around and ran around. How many games did Beef Stew get suspended for the LeBron situation? Does anybody know off the top of
I know he got 3 for the situation against Phoenix.
would
But that
imagine
was
around the same.
before the game. Remember, that was in the
Right.
vidoc, okay, or that was back in the loading dock.
I think it'll be the same for Diabate. Like, he never landed a punch. It was I say 2, 3. I say 2.
Okay.
3 at the most for Diabate.
Okay. What did Stewart get? He only got the ejection for
Leaving the bench.
flagrant 2 against Indiana, right? I think he only got the 1 there. But he did get, like I mentioned, the 3 games when he punched Drew Eubanks for Phoenix.
Whatever it is.
Yep, off court.
That's awesome. Where it's located, and you have fans right there, and they're not squaring off at the center circle before they take the jump.
Yeah.
You're endangering fans, and my guess is Adam Silver mentions that, takes that into consideration. That's my reasoning on why I think he gets 5 games.
Okay.
But I could be way wrong.
Since we're jumping ahead, how about we take it a step back?
Okay.
Him leaving the bench. We didn't even talk about that.
So
where are you with that?
So now we move to the second phase. So we've talked about Duren and Diabate. Okay. You've got Miles Bridges, who also throws a punch.
There was
right?
a couple.
Yeah, there was
Lands,
a couple punches.
Lands won.
A fainting glimpse, but Lands won. And Isaiah Stewart comes off the bench. Where are you with that? I don't care about Bridges. I'm thinking more about Isaiah Stewart. Okay.
I was initially more upset last night because everybody in the group chat, Woodward Sports, everybody, hell yeah, let's go. Bad boys, they're back. This
Give
is
them
what
a
it is.
statue.
100%. Give them a statue.
Give them a
like, this is
statue,
what we
bro.
need to see. This is who we are. This is our identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that identity is about to cost you beef stew for 8 games. Maybe
Minimum.
more. Minimum.
Oh, really? You think it's a minimum?
Some people think it's
1000%.
going to be like
He threw
the
four.
NBA guys think
He
it's gonna
threw
be
4
20.
punches. Like, you can watch in that video.
He connected.
He runs. First of all,
That hard.
he runs off the bench. It doesn't matter. It's basketball.
I know. I was just talking to
He runs off the bench.
Yep.
You leave the bench.
Right.
Let's hard stop there. Who is the oldest tenured Piston? Beef Stew.
Isaiah Stewart, right?
Beef Stew. He's the protector. That's why he ran off the bench. He's the protector. He's the longest tenured. He's the leader. And as it relates to the team, outside of Cade Cunningham, you know exactly what I mean by that. There are things that you have to know that you can't do. Because this right here, if you can't get this together. Now, last night's fine. Today, I'm a little more weather. I mean, it still sucks because the fact that you couldn't control yourself lets me know that you haven't necessarily matured to the point that you need to. Because what happens if this is in the playoffs? What happens? Because now I'm watching you. If I'm the New York Knicks, if I'm the Cleveland Cavaliers, if I'm any of the teams that are going to have to see you in the East, it's old school basketball. I tell my biggest agitator, I tell my Dylan Brooks to get under your skin.
Yep.
Right.
Because this is what comes when you get under skin.
I think teams are doing that now, don't you?
100%, and
Yeah.
you're starting to see it. So with that being said, I don't like that element of it because I don't think it's nipped in the bud from what he's been. And this has been a couple times.
Because we were just talking about the response to
Yeah.
the interaction or the tussle or the headlock with Jonas Valanciunas when they played Denver, and he just walked away.
Yeah.
With this one, JB Bickerstaff in particular, he believed this one was a little bit different because of the aggression from Diabate and that, hey, look, I don't condone it, but they are bros. He went in there to protect his little bro.
How old? Like how old is Jalen Duran? How tall
22.
is Jalen Duran? Like
Yeah.
he's freaking 6'10".
Since when does Jalen
245.
Duran need protection?
Like from off the bench? It's
I
different.
mean, the brothers have each other.
If it's
I get that,
if
but
it's Dennis Jenkins, I get it. But
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at the having the back. But what I'm telling you to pay attention to, because I don't like where it's trending, is he's not in the game. He's on the bench. He runs in the game to defend the individual who just mushed the hell out of Diabate, who definitely can handle himself in that situation. You want to give me Miles Bridges, who's on the court? He's on the court trying to fight for his teammate. That's a little bit
And
different.
Beef Stew's doing the same thing. Beef Stew's fighting for his teammate.
But Miles
But he's
Bridges
on the
is in the
bench.
game.
Yeah.
He's leaving the bench. Like letting you know if the playoffs happen, I can't control myself enough to stay on the bench.
Right.
You don't think timing has anything to do with it? About to go to the All-Star break, and he's banged up. You think you don't?
I don't think he thinks of that. I don't think he thinks of that.
I think it's
at
the
all.
enforcer role. That's what I think it is. We've seen this with our previous Pistons teams, and Duran is not the guy that's going to go out there swinging. And if someone's rolling
Well, if
up,
somebody swings at him, he will.
So
well, we saw several people swing at him,
Okay,
and he didn't really swing back.
but
he tried to smack a little bit.
Maybe
he
he
came out and really
and
swung.
maybe he's a little more mature because he realizes what's at stake and we can't lose
But that's
me
where
in
the
a
enforcer
key
role
game
comes
like
in.
that.
You
He's
heard
also
what Stu
coming
was
off
saying?
an injury. Here's my issue with that. I mean, I
If-
think Braylon's dead on here. I don't care if it's the All-Star break and he needs some help. That's not how you go about getting it. That's number one. Number two, if you're lost for 8 to 10 games, you got Cleveland twice, and they playing really well.
Yeah.
You've got OKC once. You've got San Antonio twice. You tell me how good you feel if your team goes in any type of spiral and loses the opportunity to get the 1 seed. Charlotte, who gives a crap what Miles Bridges is doing for his team? They're 2 games under flipping 500. This team is vying for not just the number 1 seed in the East, they're vying for the number 1 seed in the NBA. And we're going to sit here and go, that's okay, this is great, because he's showing who we are. And yet last year, those same people are squawking, we would have beaten the Knicks if we had him. Well, he was out with an injury. Now he's taking himself out of the game for 8 to 10 games. And you're okay with it?
You think Stu's going to be the back?
I'm not okay with him pulling himself out 8 to 10 games, but I also understand the type of hits that these guys are taking from their own mouth. Something that JB Bickerstaff has yelled at from the podium for several years. If the NBA is not going to clean it up, I believe this is the stuff you're going to see. Frustrations happen. Whether we say it's what you're supposed to do or not, people got bad days. If you think you're going to try Stu, he's already let the league know and everybody know. I will get you in the game. I will get you off the court.
Okay.
You can press a whole team press charges. This is what you're going to get.
Okay.
And I think that when you got these enforcer types, I'm not saying that I want it. I want these guys to be able to keep their level head because you need Stu on the court. What's the one thing we all say? all of them said it about last year's playoffs. Well, if we had Stu in there, we would.
That's what I just said. Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you there, but I also don't want to have this kind of. We know in hockey what the enforcers were, and I get the rules are a little bit different.
It's way different.
It can be, but we know what the bad boys were.
Fighting
allowed. Wasn't allowed. The bad boys.
And when I bring up the bad boys, or I bring up basketball back in the day, what do I get thrown in my face? It's a different game now. It's a different league now. So you can't play Rick Mahorn with me.
The Pistons have always been the team, no matter the era and no matter the rule, who have found a way to still play their style. The bad boys, it wasn't like they were playing what everyone thought was the rules. The 04 Pistons and their physicality, it wasn't like they were playing what people said was the rules, to the point that they changed the rules after each one of those teams won championships. Now you got the Pistons finding a way to break the code, similar to OKC, and I think the rest of the league is a little bit perturbed about it. Everyone knows you walk in, it's going to be a dogfight. Their defense is for real. They are the number two defense.
They knew that going into the game last night before Isaiah Stewart left the bench.
And everybody is coming in trying to play extra physical. I'm not saying that, look, this is what I'm going to go out there and coach my guys to do. Yeah. But I also don't want to be a hypocrite as it relates to the things we in this city, as at least fans, maybe not you guys, but I know a whole swath of fans, what we have continued to effectively prop up over the years, it's that type of stuff. Okay. He wasn't the aggressor. He was the one trying to enforce or take up for his brother, which is the stuff we said we saw Rick Mahorn and Lambeer and these guys do.
The Pistons and the Bad Boys in the 80s era, what they did was what everybody in the NBA was doing. The only version of that is they just were better. That's what it was. So it wasn't like the Pistons are creating something that nobody else. The Pistons were doing what everyone in the league was doing. They just did it better. And then the 2004 to go on to work Pistons, they weren't dirty. Right. They weren't enforcers on the court. They just played better defense than everybody, and nobody wanted to smoke with Ben Wallace. The one time they tried Ben Wallace, look what happened.
They changed the rules.
Look what happened the one time. Like, at the end of the day, look, if you guys want to fight about, look, Beef Stew, let him run out there. Let Beef Stew do that. Get happy with that. Support that. Keep supporting that. Keep talking about my team, build my statue. Draymond tried that shit in the playoffs, and what happened? It cost them 3 championships in a row.
But that's assuming that Stu's going to do this in the playoffs.
Well, we've seen him do it consistently. I'm just telling you, like, a pattern. Yeah. It has a pattern. When we haven't seen him in the playoffs, well, because he was injured. Last year,
and don't kid yourself.
Just doesn't.
Reputations follow players.
Oh, I agree.
Okay, so it does. It's not just us saying it hurts him and hurts his team for the next 8 to 10 games or whatever that's going to be, but it's going to hurt other members of his team because of how it gets called. Now, we may not like that. We may not think it's fair, but oftentimes that's human nature. When there are reputations, you don't think Tony Gwynn got a reputation as a great eye at the plate, and so maybe, just maybe, if that's a little bit outside or maybe that's the edge of the corner, they're going to give him the benefit of the doubt? You damn right they did. And they've done it to the Pistons back in those days, and they played through it, and they're going to do it with this team as well. As long as they can play through it, I suppose it doesn't matter. But at some point, maybe during the next, if it's an 8 to 10 game suspension and your team goes, whatever, 2-7, at some point somebody's going to go, damn, maybe, just maybe, we're hoping that he could be a little bit more under control.
I digress, and I look at it through this lens. At the end of the day, this NBA is a softer NBA than we've seen in the past. We have not seen fights on the court. We haven't seen any fight escalate to the point where you're like, oh my God, there's blood. It's craziness. And with that being said, there was no need for Beef Stew to run on the court. And realistically, before he started running on the court, Jalen Duren was doing this, walking away from a situation and matriculating, moonwalking backwards to the half-court line. That should even let you know further it's no reason to come on the court and risk this, whatever the suspension is going to be. So I think teams understand who Beef Stew is. I think teams know not to mess with Cade Cunningham or Jalen Duren. I think they already know that. This happened because of a mush. Jalen Duren can handle himself. At some point, that's the other side of it. We got to stop looking at him like a 22-year-old, and maybe they need to stop treating him like a 22-year-old. Let him handle one of these scrums for himself. I ain't say Cade Cunningham now. I'm not getting ahead of myself. Right. I ain't say let him handle it. Right. Beef Stew, please come off the bench if you see Cade in some BS. But as it relates to Jalen Duren, like, he's one of the biggest guys in the NBA, and he's no longer that 18-year-old that we had to make sure he had his passport for that flight to the Toronto Raptors game. He's 22, filled out, cooking with grease. Let him do it himself for
I think the beauty is that you got a guy like Paul Reed who can come in and give you all kinds of valuable
quick
minutes.
6.
Man, really good. Really good.
It's quick 6 right after that. But it was fun to watch. I legitimately left my boy Jimmy's crib, saw his daughter Charlotte Grayson hoop, went to his house, watched a little bit of the game, got back to my house. As soon as I turned the TV on, they were fighting.
Yeah.
It was like perfect.
Yeah, look, I mean,
perfect
they're a physical team. We love that about them. Okay, period.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to sit in a chair in a well-conditioned studio with a sweatshirt on and say, you know what? You've got to be able to control yourself a little bit better, because I'm not the one out there. I'm not in the emotion part of things.
Yeah.
So it's not fair for me to sit there and just criticize. However, we have seen this as a pattern. And if we're all recognizing it, you know damn well the league is recognizing it. And at some point, they're going to go, enough is enough. And it's going to penalize this team. Now, this team has, in fairness to this team, they have found a way to win when Cade Cunningham's hurt, when Jalen Duren's hurt, when Isaiah Stewart's hurt. I give them a lot of credit for that. Yeah. I love their depth, and I don't want them to lose a chip on the shoulder. I just wish there would be a little bit more restraint in certain situations. I don't think that's too much to ask for. And instead of everybody propping it up like he's the second coming of Dave Bing, Bob Lanier, and Isaiah Thomas, I'm surprised that more people aren't saying, you know what? Because when Brian Branch does this, what an idiot. Stop flipping off the Packers. Stop throwing helmets. If somebody else does this on a different team, you're pissed off. How dare he hard foul me? How dare he hard foul one of the Pistons when the Pistons do that all the time and we embrace it, and I embrace it too.
Yeah, because of what the past was, and they believe we have to be 1987 in order to win today.
Sure.
The only thing that I do want to know, though, and this goes to actually knowing a conversation between Beef Stew and the Pistons, like what was the conversation between Dwayne Casey and Troy Weaver, as it relates to what is my assignment? And by my, I'm talking about Beef Stew. What is your role here? I don't know the conversations that were had with front office and head coaches as it relates to, hey, look, anything pops off, you're off the bench, you're in the scrum, you make sure Jalen doesn't get hurt, you make sure Cade doesn't get hurt, you are our enforcer, whatever the situation calls for. Now, if this is a conversation that's had, then we're all in the wrong, because this is how he's operating. And the reason why I asked that question is because when you see him walk to the tunnel after he gets ejected, what is his conversation that he continues to repeat out loud? This is clearly coming from somewhere that's just not emotion. He was like, I don't know, this is what y'all brought me here for. What the F you bring me here for? What the F you bring me here for? This is what I do. You know what you're going to get. So when I hear that, that's cause for what's the conversation between Trajan Langdon, and J.B. Bickerstaff? Because if it's one where you have free range to do what you need to do, then all of us need to shut up.
Yeah, it's a fair question.
Yeah.
Not that this should be a huge concern. He's a good player. I mean, he's gotten
a lot better. I have a lot more respect.
He's a really good defensive player, and I think based on reputation, again, not like this is the number one agenda that we should be discussing, but I think people look at him as just a guy who slugs it out there, and they don't respect him as much for the things that he adds to this team other than low post defender.
It's like the old player last night cost the new player and that he's become.
Yeah.
People just look at him as like that guy, the bully guy that was rapping in the video on the plane after a win.
Yeah.
And he's a lot more than that.
When he's shown that he can be a threat in other ways against New York on Friday night. Finger roll over the front of the rim, doing a lot of different things. And all people now know him around the league for, well, quote unquote, an enforcer. D-Mac and I got in a bit of a debate about this just before he left. And he's like, now everybody knows. I said, what, you don't think people knew already? It's pretty well known in NBA circles of his reputation. How often do you have to prove that and reinforce that reputation for people to get the message?
D-Mac says something that I also disagree with. Like, I love you, D-Mac. You know you're my guy. You know you're my brother. I don't say anything negative about that guy. He's one of the realest people that you ever meet in your life. But I disagreed with him on that. That Duncan Robinson thing, like, do something.
Yeah.
Like, and I told D-Mac, I said, you got to do something. You got to break somebody up. You got to help Tobias and be a veteran in that role or do something. And Mac told me, he said, nah, Bray, you don't want him to do that. You say you don't want him to do that. He said, you want him to stay there. That's his role. His role is to be that guy. He's going to stay out of it. He's not going to fight. And he named another player that he played with. He said that was his role. He knew he was off to the side, et cetera, et cetera. I said, but he's not the star player. I said, he's like player 4 or 5 on your team. Either go sit down or just help break things up. Once again, they are not going to fight.
He actually looked disgusted. Like
he
what,
did. He
like,
looked like
what are
he
we
like,
doing? And he throws his hands up to a certain extent, turned and walked away.
Didn't he look like he was away from the Pistons?
Yeah.
It looked like it was the Pistons and Duncan Robinson.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that feel, and then maybe that's what that was.
It was. He also, again, this
like
is
it's a whole fight. You got your back turned. Like, what if one of your boys gets stole on, and you're looking this way, like, man, I can't believe he's got. Oh, did he just get hit?
Yeah, that was my interpretation of it. Yeah. Maybe it's unfair, but it's almost as if, what are we doing here?
Yeah,
we're a good basketball team, and I don't know how people outside this market look at it. I did talk to a Charlotte writer earlier this morning, and they still think Detroit is a very gifted team, best team in the East. Charlotte is trying to be like them. Mm-hmm. All right, this is okay. This is a little bit of a Gatorade commercial.
Yeah,
be like Mike.
Play no defense.
We're going to be like the Pistons. That's who they want to be. And so maybe they took it a little bit too far in that regard. But I just hope people are looking at the Pistons and understanding that this is not their identity. The fighting is not their identity. Their identity is hard-nosed defense, depth, and finding ways. You mentioned the points in the paint. They had 60 points in the paint after going 5 for 25 from deep. They find ways to win. Yeah. That's their identity, not fighting. And I think more and more people are recognizing the pushing, the shoving, the waggle of the finger in somebody's face, the pleading with the referees, and it's getting overlooked. And I hope that is not the case moving forward.
I kind of agree with you on that one, Shep, because a lot of people, like, as much as, because I am on the opposite side, I'm not saying what Stu did was, like, the right thing to do, but I don't have a problem with what Stu did, because at the end of the day, they did mentally break Charlotte. Like, their coach got ejected. Like, you can't say that if Stu doesn't do that, the coach doesn't get, like, that goes hand in hand. But one thing that's getting overlooked is Cade dropped 33 last night. You know what I mean?
8.
Yeah.
Like, Cade balled out.
Yeah,
solid.
And like, so we were able to do that, and Cade balled out. And you said something, we're known for depth, right?
Yeah.
So when we're worried about like Stu missing games, I'm not worried about Stu missing games because we got Paul Reed to fill that spot real quick. You know what I mean?
I do. There's a reason that Isaiah Stewart plays over him. And if we're going to accept, I'm okay with losing a better player because he is emotionally charged and we can lose him for an extended period of time. Please don't come back with me and say, man, I wish we had that to do all over again, because it doesn't matter.
And I understand.
Okay?
I understand you can't be the bad boys without being bad. Like, we're gonna take our licks if we're gonna play this way. Like, if Stu's gonna come off the bench and we're gonna be suspended, we better be ready for it. And I'm gonna stand by the Pistons, and I'm gonna say, hey, I think that even with Stu gone for these games, we're still going to go out there and we're still going to ball out. Because if anything, I feel like these past few weeks have shown that the Pistons are a pretty complete team.
Well, remember what Bray said, though. I mean, if you were becoming the second version of the Bad Boys, that's fine. 2004 didn't do this. Okay? 2004 was the team that went out there, and I thought this team was closer to 2004 than the 1989-90 Bad Boy Pistons, or maybe you really could start in 1987. All right, we're late for a break. Real quick, let's get to Massage Chair and Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning here on the Braylon Edwards Show.
Some other good stuff, too, man, coming down that pipeline.
It's fire, man. Shout out to the people, man. Smashing that like button and supporting us.
I'm saying tease.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Feel free.
No, man, we got the top 8 NFC quarterbacks coming up next, man. See where your boy Jared Goff falls.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
And this is spawned to the other conversation that you had about a certain person and what do these individuals have to do.
I like that tease. That's a better tease than I could have given.
This guy, right? But that's because you still think about that fight. You're excited. Juice has got going, man. You know what I'm saying? We're ready to run out of here and fight somebody on Woodward.
Yeah. Detroit versus everybody.
Now that I'm always down with.
Yeah. But seriously, before we go to Massage Chair, if you look at, not that his opinion matters a lot to me, but Kendrick Perkins on ESPN said there's 3 things I'm afraid of in my life: healthy foods, reality shows, and the Detroit Pistons. So now he's put on the spare tire, he's sitting in a suit and jacket, and he's in a studio. Did Miles Bridges look afraid last night?
No.
Okay, so is it working? I don't know if it's working.
But Miles Bridges from one of them places. They don't fear a lot.
Yeah,
they don't fear a lot.
I get it.
So I got to show love to Flint Town. They about to smoke. They about to smoke. All right, tell us about Massage Warehouse.
Well, you know what, man? Maybe we can get Miles Bridges, Diabate, Jalen Duran, Isaiah Stewart, these guys over to Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, because they're going to have to experience, man, comfort and just de-stressing on an entirely different level. Look, you guys see it there. I know you're looking for your relaxation to go to the next level. So go ahead and scan that QR code. And if you can find Stu, send this to him as well, because he needs to visit Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It is the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, all right? Make sure you're checking out Dr. Eric Duncan and his YouTube channel for massage chair reviews. He is the Wellness Doc at the Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com. Again, simply scan that QR code on your screen. This is Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
It's 44 degrees out when I pulled up to the studio today, and that maybe things are starting to change a little bit. It never changes for Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. If it's cold, you need your furnace, and they can help you with that. If it's warm, you're going to need your air conditioner, and they are experts in that too. They've been doing it for over 40 years in Metro Detroit, and with the times changing, you want to make sure you're running with somebody who you can trust. Fast, dependable service, whether it's an emergency or just your regular house call, Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning will do you right. Call them today, 734-238-3805. Tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsAndSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
What if I told you that you could place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you get that bet back? Probably think I'm crazy, right? Well, scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get your deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to $1,000 back. You probably think I'm crazy like beef stew coming off the bench, but that is the truth. The truth. I got it. Minimum bet is just $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on screen.
We've told you about round 2 of the Michigan State Hoops Watch Party. It is taking place where? At Art and Jake's in Northville. And we want you to be part of it, of course. But we also want you to be part of it for a different reason, because that rivalry deserves a really good tasting beer. You need that beer that's going to taste solid for 4 quarters, or in college basketball terms, 2 halves. That is Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. It's riding shotgun at our Michigan State Hoops Watch Party round 2. Get $5 shorts of Sam Adams Cherry Wheat at Art and Jake's location across the state of Michigan on Mondays, on Thursdays, on Saturdays. It's light, it's refreshing, and it's brewed with real Michigan cherries. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. It drinks deliciously, and you need to drink responsibly.
And we back.
Definitely got to drink responsibly. Oh, was that? I thought that was Dusty May. My apologies. So I'm walking.
He's coming in here to Lady Jane's. Wow.
Yeah, Dusty probably wouldn't be all the way down here to get a cut, but you never know.
Yeah,
you never know, because it's wicked awesome.
We want to shift gears again, downshift this time, and talk a little football. But first, let's make sure we've caught up on not just the super chats, but any chats that Kool-Aid has deemed interesting in the chat, where he can share with us.
Well, hey, you know what? Shep777 in the chat says,
"Hey,
give me beef stew." I think that's how a lot of fans are feeling right now.
I do too.
Right now, the Pistons are probably going to miss him for who knows how long. We're hoping it's something like 7 games. But
what's your guess? What's your best guess?
Boogie Cousins thinks he's getting 25 games.
That's ridiculous.
I don't think it's that. If it's anything,
25 games.
They said 25 on the pod this morning.
I said it's gonna be some games. like everybody was like,
AI is saying
I don't know about
speculation
that.
is 25 as well.
Okay, so let me ask this. I didn't realize that.
I'm thinking like 10 maybe.
Now
but
remember,
that's
Boogie Cousins, he's a little out there.
Adam Silver has never penalized anybody double-digit games.
Yeah, and for fighting, I don't think it's ever been more than 5. Okay, and the rep, you're right. Let's say
Draymond never.
Let's just say it's 25. Okay, for what Boogie Cousins is saying. Does it change your mind on the action itself? Not necessarily you, Bray, because you've already made that statement, or me. So I would ask this to Kool-Aid and Alex, who have no problem with it. 25 games. 25 games.
I definitely think it changes. Yeah, no, I'm not even gonna. I'm not in front. 25 games is a lot. 25 games without Stu is a lot, because it's, again, as much as like I love Paul Reed. I love Paul Reed. I think he's great.
There you go. Earlier, he was like, Paul Reed.
Let me tell you something.
That was different.
Let me just say this. If they lose him for 25 games, you better really love Paul Reed.
I'm going to go buy like 4 jerseys. I'm at every game. Yeah. I'm sweating.
So it does change your...
It does. 25 games, okay. That's a lot, because that's a lot of stress on me.
The ramifications from the action changes your mind. Now, all of us would be in agreement. The NBA has it out for Isaiah Stewart and the Pistons if it comes to 25.
Yes.
Okay. Because that, to me, that is exorbitant.
Yeah.
All right.
25 games. They hate the city of Detroit.
That's immediately what comes to mind. Okay.
For 3 to 4 sloppy punches.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. But
agreed.
Okay. Kool-Aid, would it change if it were 25?
Kool-Aid
would you take a
triple down?
Would you do a little Duncan Robinson for us and step back for a minute?
Here it comes, ladies and gentlemen.
Hold on,
know what you
25 games missed from Stu. You talking about one of the, if not the best paint and rim protector in the league. That's a huge issue. We saw what it was last year when they missed him. That 25 games is a lot. I'm still going to be bullish about them getting into the playoffs, but when you're talking championship level, we were already wondering, do they need to add a little bit more? You lose one of your best players. That's and realistically one of those vets now in that locker room as your longest tenured Piston. That changes things for me a little bit. That really does.
Yeah, 1,000%. I look at it like this. It's not even necessarily about the amount of games. It's just when the games can happen, too. I go back to that Draymond situation, the LeBron James, the Cleveland Cavs. Like, if Draymond does not get suspended in that game, They win another championship, and then they won the year before that. Then they got KD, and they kept winning. So I just look at that was a breakup, and now they still won some championships, but they lost in that moment because they didn't have one of their best players, and at that time, one of the best defensive players in the NBA. He missed one. It wasn't 25 games. It was one game.
Right.
And that one game allowed the Cavs to inch back, and then they finally came back and won 4 games to 3. So I look at it like that, like the moment. Like if you can't keep it in control, which I don't necessarily believe that's something where he can turn that light switch off and on. Like when is that moment gonna happen?
I don't know, but here's my problem with this whole thing. I don't think it's going to be 25.
That's too many.
That would take him with 5 games remaining in the regular season. That would take him all the way to April 4th. So he would play against Philly, Orlando, Milwaukee, Charlotte, and Indiana. That's it. So all the games.
He ain't missing a whole calendar month.
I'm just telling you. If Boogie Cousins is right, and I don't think he's right. I'm just telling you. If that's it, okay. So that begs this question. Then we'll shift to the National Football League.
25 games.
25. I think it's ridiculous.
Do we know the minimum for getting off the bench?
I don't. I'm sorry.
Man, I forgot that.
What's the maximum? What's the maximum you think he could? If I said deserves, Kool-Aid would blow a gasket.
I get what you're saying.
What's the maximum you think you could understand?
10.
10.
Because even 10 is a lot.
I'm there too.
But 10 is still a lot. But if you tell me 10, then I can understand this is reputation, this is precedent, and this is we don't want to deal with anything like this again in our current NBA. So, hey, if you guys want to try some stuff like this, pay attention to Beef Stew for the Pistons. So I think all those tied into it, 10 is the most I can see.
I think you're dead on there, and it's the NBA, and I don't necessarily agree with it. But if we believe the Pistons send messages with Isaiah Stewart coming off the bench and anybody else, okay, the NBA is going to send the message. And they're going to say, you know what? You sent the message to Charlotte and everybody else. Be aware because I'm not afraid to come off the bench. Here's our message to you. Do it again, you'll get double. We're giving you 10 games. Shape up. That's what they're going to do. So I think 10 games, I could almost understand. I don't like it, but I could almost understand. 25 would be egregious.
Yeah.
And I would think the franchise would go absolutely berserk and be in New York pounding on the deck of Adam Silver and say, we got to meet.
There'd be a minimum of 5 cars flipped in the city of Detroit.
Yes,
I'm not going that far. Our city gets too bad of a reputation in that regard. So 10 games for Kool-Aid. Alex, how many games for you?
I agree 10.
10?
I agree 10.
Okay.
I could understand
As a max, right?
12 if as a message. 12 would be the message. 10 would be like the reasonable response. But if the NBA wants to send a message, there'd be like, here's 12 to even say like, don't even try this.
And I'm going to say, if he gets a 7 that Bray was saying, I would honestly be like, kind of feels a little light.
Well, I would feel fortunate. I would feel fortunate.
And things, throwing punches,
At 25, it shook you guys a little bit.
No, it really did.
It's like, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, please give me something.
Hey, suddenly I start biting my nails a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, missing a guy who we all consider pretty important to this team. I don't know if it's integral, but he's pretty important to this team. You can't talk out of both sides of your mouth. If you thought it was that important against the Knicks last year, then you think it's important right now. Losing him for 4 or 5 games is one thing. Losing him for double-digit games is something different. I don't mind Paul Reed. I don't love him as much as Alex does, but I like him.
Love me some Paul Reed.
If I have to use Paul Reed in a 5-game stint, you know, everything in moderation, right? I love cookies, but I can't eat them all the time, right? I like whiskey, but everything in moderation. I'm not going to sit there and do a bunch of shots every single night. So
here's a question.
Yeah.
Were you for or against Ron Artest's suspension that happened in Malice of the Palace? Because that happened in December. That happened November. So they only had played about 10 games at that point, maybe like 10 to 15. He missed the whole season. So he missed essentially 65 games or more. Like, where were you with that suspension?
Yeah, look, can I just preface it by saying
please.
Let me preface it by saying I don't believe fans pay a ticket and deserve the right to do anything they want. All right?
Agreed.
Okay.
I don't like how a lot of fans talk to athletes. Maybe it's because I'm older in my life, and maybe it's because I respect athletes an awful lot. Yeah. I don't believe in that.
I agree with you
I think it's flat out wrong. But a lot of people push back on that. You go into the stands and you start beating the crap out of people, there has to be a really firm line. How far is that line? You know, that was a pretty heavy statement.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Has it affected anybody? I mean, they're still fighting, and fans are so close. That's the NBA's choice. Fans are so close. Somebody could get hurt.
How many people have gone in the stands since? I know that's a double question.
I can't think of anybody who has.
So it worked.
Vernon Maxwell, or was that after?
That was
or before? That was before.
That was 94.
So they didn't do enough to Vernon Maxwell to stop it from Ron Artest, who's got a little bit of a screw loose. Look, you had a radio broadcaster, a friend of ours, Rick Mahorn, who had to go up there and help. Otherwise, somebody could have died. Yeah. Ron Artest, those guys are big dudes, right? Somebody could have died. Who else went in there?
What's his name? Steven Jackson.
Steven Jackson and Jermaine
O'Neal. He was on the court. He didn't go in the stands. He was on the court. Okay. Fred Jones went in too.
Gotcha.
And then he got beat up by Ben Wallace's brother.
Yeah. And then some jackass actually went on the floor and tried to, fight somebody who was on the Indiana bench, which was just absolutely moronic. And that dude deserved, a couple of punches. For
better or for worse, I think it does make fans think like, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to go on that court and try and square up with these players because the players, they showed that they were superhuman.
If you remember that.
Yeah.
And if you were alive back then.
Yeah.
Reason why I
slid into Jermaine O'Neal's punch.
He did.
That was tough.
Yeah. Jermaine O'Neal almost tore his ACL.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Because he slipped. So just watch the play. He slipped when he threw the punch and his knee buckled backwards.
Oh,
it was beer all over.
I didn't need Jermaine O'Neal to tell me that to see like, boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
You were just a bit off. Only reason I asked that question because I think the suspension was a bit much.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think what they did was egregious. You don't go on the stand. You beat fans. Blah blah blah. I agree with you too. That suspension was far too much in my estimation. That suspension cost him $5 million to $6 million. That's a lot of damn money.
Yeah.
So it was a lot. I say that to say this. That was all about precedent.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we know it was enough, we know what it was for. And I fear that this could be one of those type of situations. 25 sounds like a lot. I don't know if it's going to be that much, but maybe we hear 20 and you appeal to get 15. Like I'm starting to prepare for a bigger number.
Yeah, you guys are making me start to prepare for a larger number. I would love to be a fly on the wall when the Pistons, appeal that.
Dang, too bad Joe Dumars isn't still in the.
Well, he was the one who sent the letter before that said that there was a repeat offender and put an extra game on a suspension, and we were like, "Whoa!"
That's why they don't like Joe D.
I remember that one in the letter. It said that he has a history.
Every day there's something we hear that Joe D was like, "Oh, okay, that's what it is."
Yeah, it's hard.
The man's the Finals MVP.
Yeah, it's hard not.
I love Joe Dumars.
For me to like Joe Dumars, even though there are times when I covered him as a player that I really wish he would have stuck around and answered some questions.
It's that that's a country upbringing, man. It's quiet, man.
Yeah, he's quiet. Well, there's a reason he had his locker later in his career where he did. Right around the corner where you get out of there, right? I'm going to go change right over here around the corner. I'll be right back. And we're just left waiting and waiting and waiting like the cable guy at Kramer's apartment in a Seinfeld episode. All right, when we come back, we've got some NFL. Any type of breaking news, Kool-Aid's on it for sure, like a pit bull on a poodle. And we will get to the NFL news that Braylon has. Specifically, what do you got for us coming up?
I just ranked the top 8 quarterbacks as it relates to right now. NFC?
Where does Jared Goff rank?
That's exactly how mine went.
I forgot a quarterback, and I would probably have him. I probably would have him 5, 6. So when you see the list, tell me who I forgot.
All right, good. We will do that, but 100%. I guarantee you, his home colors are not the color of his shirt.
Let's hear from Dr. No, they are not. Attention sports fans, don't miss expert injury insights from Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. He's on the show every Thursday, and you can catch him on Big Day Energy. In fact, he was on there today where he shares top-tier advice to keep athletes in peak conditions. Trust the guy we trust, and it's Dr. Jeff Pierce. He diagnoses everything. You guys know I come up here and talk about him all the time. He can get you right. It's not about the diagnosis. It's about the right diagnosis from the right person. That is Dr. Pierce.
I had Buddy's Pizza the other day. I told you about this at the Super Bowl. I had a couple of pieces left over. I'm not afraid to admit this. I can't wait to get home and have them again. Buddy's Pizza is celebrating 80 years. They are the original Detroit-style pizza. It's as good as it gets. If it's not the pizza that you're into that one particular night, I'm not going to ask you to have your head examined, but I'm going to ask you what else. Well, they've got home-style pasta. They've got signature salads. And if you're going to cater an event, there's no better place. Buddy's Catering can help you out. Save 20% on your next catering order of $200 or more when you order with the promo code Woodward20. That is Woodward20. Visit buddiespizza.com/catering today.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill sub-zero.
When you have everything you need to get stronger, just around the corner, you can give everything you've got.
Just 30 more seconds.
With over 2,800 locations, there's always a Planet Fitness near you. Join the club today and get your first month free. Just $1 down, $15 a month. No commitment. Deal ends Friday, February 13th.
See what you got.
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com.
Black Rock Bar and Grill, still a sizzle above the rest. And remember, they have specials on. That's right. Valentine's Day is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. So get to Black Rock. Make sure you make that reservation today because priority seating is a must. Don't forget, you mentioned Woodward Sports. You get 20% off that food bill. Rock this Valentine with the hottest steakhouse around, and that's Black Rock Bar and Grill. Like I told you, it'll always be a sizzle above the rest.
There we go. We just thought for just a brief moment, Braylon thought it was Dusty May walking into our location, one of 28,
Dusty,
by the
all
way, one of 28 locations of Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It wasn't, but it wouldn't surprise us if he walked into a location, because this is where you get the best haircuts and how quickly they're able to work on your head of hair. Walk in, sign in. Before you know it, you're looking smooth, you're looking good, and you're recognizing that Lady Jane's, it is wicked awesome.
And we back.
All right, help me with this. It says, hey, Shep, the fans make the league. The league is nothing without the fans, so I don't want to hear that BS. What would that be in reference to?
The fans not being able to say whatever they want, as you said.
Oh, I got you.
You believe the fans shouldn't be allowed to say whatever they want to players,
right,
et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah,
it can go over some
you're
edges,
not, look, I respect your opinion too. You're not going to change my mind on that. I don't think you deserve the right to be able to call, somebody who's lining up outside the numbers and effing this and an effing that and all that other stuff. I mean, that's just me. So I'm not saying I'm always right. I'm just saying that's my belief. I don't think in baseball you should be. You want to get under a guy's skin, you can do that without being crass, and I think you can do that without the name calling and some of the other stuff.
That's what made Anson great, actually, as the Detroit heckler.
He was a respectful heckler. He was very annoying, but he was respectful.
Yeah,
I would.
That's a good thing.
I agree with you. Sport needs the fans. I never have said this out loud, and until your comment, it kind of, I don't know if it pissed me off, but maybe it's the first time I said it out loud. Remember, all sports started with just sports. They started with the game.
Yeah.
The fans came second, and now although we know. We need the fans, and that's why as Kool-Aid, you see me around as Shep, I will stop and talk to all the fans.
Yes.
I will sign autographs, take pictures, because I
all the
understand and I believe in what the fans provide to the game. We cannot have the game on the level we have it without the fans. But make no mistakes. Make no mistakes. The game came first, so respect it.
Good for you. And that's so well said. Yeah. Look, and I've been consistent with that. I've said that about the media. I've said that to managers, coaches, players,
And
general
vice versa.
managers,
Players gotta respect
owners.
fans.
I've said it to them my entire broadcasting career. I've said, we don't deserve to know everything.
Yeah.
That's why sometimes I think the media is too invasive when it comes to coaches in games. Let them do their job. We're going to interrupt something where they're trying to diagram a play or a defensive play or a sideline out of bounds or a baseline out of bounds, just so we can hear him say, hey, what are your thoughts on how Cade Cunningham's playing right now? Well, he's got 33, 9, and 7. I think he's pretty damn good. Thanks, Coach. Back to you guys. Wow, that was enlightening. Rarely do you get that. Yeah. Halftime of football, halftime of basketball, I get it. But sometimes it's a little much. So I just want to let you know I stay pretty consistent with this.
I like that.
All right, somebody said, Matt, may I ask you a question? Do you think Brad Holmes is watching Scott Harris right now thinking, I am going to make moves? No, I do not. Nope, I don't think he's doing that.
I hope so,
and
but I know he's not.
I don't think he looks at that. I don't think Scott Harris was looking at anything that anybody else is doing. I think they applaud it. I think they're happy for their team. But if Brad Holmes is going, Scott Harris made a move, I better make a move.
Then we're cooked.
Then we're in deep trouble. Yeah. And I don't think Steve Eisman's doing it. I don't think any of them are doing it.
No, we know he ain't doing it.
Yeah. Well, let's look at speaking of Brad Holmes. Now that the season is over, now that we've seen players play their positions, some of them very well, others not so well, let's take a look at your top 8 quarterbacks in the National Football Conference. Tomorrow, I assume you'll do the AFC, and Josh Allen will be 10th. So let's look at – I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Let's look at the top 8 quarterbacks according to Braylon Edwards and see where we might have a disagreement here.
There's going to be some disagreements.
Okay.
That's why these lists are created. But just going into the offseason right now, thinking about the 2026 season, this is where I use quarterbacks going into the offseason. Let's go number – it'll be 9 of them, actually, because I missed one, but I think Kool-Aid might have plugged it in there. So we'll start off with 8, which is 9. So I think I'm going to have Brock Purdy. I got top 9. I'm going to have Brock Purdy in there, San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
I think he's played well, had some conversations. He has gone to a Super Bowl, beat the Lions straight up a couple years ago. I know you guys haven't forgotten about that. So he has gone to the game, hasn't won, but I think there's been some injuries for him. There's been some inconsistencies, some injuries. You see some season last year. He played missed 5 games. The year before that, he missed some time. Year before that, he was an MVP candidate, lost to Lamar Jackson. That probably cost him. And the year before that, he was in the league. So I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's shown much more over the last couple of years, but still want to see that, in totality. I'm very eager to see what next year looks like for him because he could move up a little bit higher on this list.
Okay.
So now this will be 8.
Not bad for Mr. Irrelevant.
Right, 100%. You know what I'm saying? The last pick in the draft, I think he's done well.
He has. Now, he's also making over $50 million.
And that's why he's lower on this list.
Okay.
You start with
All right.
because it goes to the money aspect. Okay. Brock Purdy, all right, coming up. Another guy who makes a lot of money. In fact, he makes the most money. Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott comes in at number 7, which will be 8. I think Dak Prescott showed me a lot last year. Like, I was actually willing to put him higher on this list based off of what he did last year without CeeDee Lamb, without some of the guys early on in the year. He was in the best shape he's ever been in. He was really good early on in the season. I kind of fell off a little bit towards the end. Had to remember that and remember that Dak's gonna Dak. So I put him at 7, but I do have belief in what it could be for him. I don't know if I have belief in Jerry, but
$60 million, a lot of money. Oh, wow. Okay. A
100%.
little surprised at this. Go ahead.
You think he'd be higher?
No, I thought it'd be lower.
Who would he be lower than one of those two guys I just put up there? He beat Dak in the playoffs last time they played.
I know.
Jordan played well for some reason last year to me, especially the last 6-7 games of the season. I watched him. He made some plays, lost his big tight end early on in the season, who was the number 1 tight end at the time he went out, found ways.
Member of your fantasy team?
100%. As we all know. Still found ways to make plays, big touchdowns. I mean, you can look at the game against the Chicago Bears. I mean, he lost in overtime, but he had a hell of a game. Yeah. He just lost a couple more plays made by Caleb Williams, who's also on this list. But Jordan Love, still have reservations about him, but I saw something out of him in the last month of the season as well as the playoffs. So we'll see what happens.
Took
next
really
year.
good care of the basketball or the base of the football. Only had 6 picks,
and that's been one of his Achilles' heel, big turnovers. So give me Jordan Love at that position, which is 6. Now, number 5 is an individual that I left off the list, but Kool-Aid and Ryan in the booth made sure I got him back on the list, and it is Baker Mayfield. I think he took a step back last year. Yeah. Maybe it was because of the injuries to Mike Evans or Chris Godwin or Emeka Egbuka later in the year, or even Bucky Irvin, but we're not going to blame injuries. He, as a quarterback, didn't show me a lot of things that he had showed me in 24, that he had showed us in 23 when he came in here and almost beat the Lions, but almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So Baker Mayfield is a leader, one of those quarterbacks that we'll be talking about after we get to you-know-who, but I think he's 5 on this list of NFC quarterback.
I get that.
Number 4.
So this isn't based on last year per se. This is based on what they've done so far in their careers.
No, it's not career, because if career, this list would look a lot different.
Okay.
I'm just more so telling you how I see his quarterback.
Recent trend. Okay.
But this is based off the last year
Fair
two.
Enough. All right.
Hey, I wouldn't go further than that.
Okay.
Caleb Williams, I think he's one of those individuals, which we'll talk about too. But the question is made, is he going to be this quarterback they talk about? Is he this heir apparent? Is he this transcendent quarterback? The verdict's still out on that. Sure. 1,000%, not near a transcendent quarterback. But what we saw him with a competent offensive coordinator, with somebody that can help him in that regard, mold him, calm him down a little bit. You saw flashes. You saw those moments. You saw the plays in big games, in big spots, in big moments. Yes, there's a lot of haters in the chat. It's okay to not like the Chicago Bears. Yeah. Just remember those moments that Caleb Williams provided for you this year. And that was only year 1. That was only year 1 under Ben Johnson. He's only going to get better when he stops playing hero ball, but he's only played hero ball his whole life. So he's number 5 for me. Go to number 4. Booyah!
Okay.
It's Jared Goff. Oh, he's going to piss some people off.
It is.
This is going to piss some people off.
I'm not going to say it pisses me off, but I would have him higher. But go ahead.
There's going to be one thing that separates him and the 3 people in front of him.
Okay.
It's you know what. Jared Goff had a really good year last year statistically. For as bad as the Lions were, not a lot of that was on Jared Goff. He had some moments in some games that I know he wished he could have back, but as a whole, I didn't look at Jared Goff a lot of those losses and say, this is the guy that lost the game. This is the guy that's struggling. This is the guy that we need to replace. A couple of those times, but not as much. I think he had a good year statistically. He did what he could, especially considering what was in front of him, which is one of the worst offensive lines of last season.
Or lack of what was in front of them.
There you go, 1,000%. Remember that commercial they show every year during the draft? It's like, what can your team draft?
Yeah.
And they always show you the quarterback with no offensive line in front of him. Well, it wasn't quite that bad because, we still had big fella on the right. I got to give him love. And then we had a one-legged Taylor Decker. But the three here, and one of those would get right, and that'd be Tate Ratliff. So, yeah, he played really good last year. And I guess this goes to your question. Are you judging the career or are you judging the last season? Last season was really good for Jared Goff. He's not good enough, didn't make the playoffs. So, number 3.
Well, that tells me, all right.
Oh, yeah,
Hurts.
I know nobody likes Jalen Hurts. This hurts.
Wow, over Jared Goff. Let's go.
I think for as bad as Jalen Hurts is in the perception, I think what the team asked him to do, he did. Same complaint of the Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, is offensive coordinator. Well, he's had 4 different offensive coordinators each year and still make the playoffs, still found ways to get to the Super Bowl, won one Super Bowl, should have been the Super Bowl winner and player of the year in that one as well. Not player of the year, but player of the game. So 2 Super Bowls, won one, played outstanding in both. He does what the team asks him to do. For as bad as we perceive him to play, you look at the stats. Doesn't throw a lot of picks. Well, it's because he doesn't throw a lot of passes down the field, things of that nature. He accounts for touchdowns. He accounts for first downs. And I look at it, at the end of the day, the goal is to win the Super Bowl.
And I can't be mad at that because even the Lions, they say that we believe that Jared Goff can make every throw we'd ask him to do. We believe he can execute what we'd ask him. Well, right now, Jalen Hurts, no matter if you think Jared Goff has the measurables or the numbers or this or that, Jalen Hurts has been able to do what his team has asked him to a couple, like you said, Super Bowl appearances and a win. And I believe if Jared Goff does that, it changes things a little bit.
He also makes the playoffs every year.
Yeah, it's also hard to argue. If you're going to put Jordan Love up there with 23 tutties, he had 25 last year. So
that's true.
Okay, I mean, if you're talking
and
apples to apples, okay, all right. It's
and y'all know it's hard for me to admit this.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
I love because it's very similar in the conversation of, oh yeah, I can't wait to get Shepard going. I wasn't even done with the last one, but you're here now. What's wrong with Sam Darnold being number 2 in the NFC going into this year?
What is wrong with this?
I don't even want to say anything for it. I just want you to both tell me what's wrong with him being 2.
There's nothing wrong. It's your list. And in fact, I'm the one who have said to people, what does he have to do? I just to say he's the number 2 in the NFC, where I assume, maybe it's an unfair assumption, Matthew Stafford is 1. Jared Goff would be 2 for me.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, probably more like 5. Sam Darnold's got to be in that conversation. I'd probably have Jalen Hurts, probably 3, somewhere in there. It's interesting that there's no Jaden Daniels. That's what I'm surprised
I
at.
took Jaden Daniels off the list because I still want to see. And really what I want to see was, he won 12 games in 1 year. Then he got hurt. When he came back, didn't necessarily look the same. I don't know what he has around him.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It's not that I can't believe you got Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
It's that I thought it was going to be Jaden Daniels, and it surprised me. And
stuff changes quick.
Jaden Daniels went 2-5.
Goodness.
Yeah, but it changes quick, but I believe, too, people are too hyperbolic. Crazy. This isn't you, Shep, or Kool-Aid. This is people. Yeah. Like, soon as the season was over last year, he gets to the NFC Championship, plays against the Eagles, they lose. Like, everybody bumped him up the list, the 3rd quarterback in the league, without seeing what he could be. And then he gets hurt last year, doesn't help. He has a reckless style of how he plays football, and it's getting him injured. If that continues, then we can't see any growth, and we can't see any progress. So I'm very interested to see what 2026 looks like for him. As it relates to Sam Darnold, like, if we're just looking at the last 2 years, 14 games, runner-up in the NFC you know the stats. Sure. Runner-up to the Detroit Lions, couldn't beat the Lions at the end of the season, go in the playoffs, they sucked, they walked him out the door. Sam Darnold was amazing in Minnesota, with the exception of the last 2 games of the season. Then he has the same success this year with great defense, mind you. The Seattle Seahawks, you're about what a team can pull out of you.
Team around him.
It's about what you can pull out of it. And what did he do last year with a great team around him? He legitimately won 14 games. What did he do this year? He won 14 games. But what did he do in the moments that mattered?
That's right.
He outdueled Stafford in the regular season to steal number 1. Then he outdueled Stafford again to get to the Super Bowl. And the one thing they asked Sam Darnold to do is take care of the football. When's the last time Sam Darnold had a turnover? Oh, that's right. Mid-December. Yeah. The one thing they asked him to do, we need you to outdo Matt Stafford. Check. We need you to not turn the ball over. Check. His Super Bowl wasn't great. No. It wasn't nothing special about it. But that Rams game was.
Yeah.
But the Rams game before that was.
Yeah.
And then they blew out the 49ers.
Especially in the 4th quarter. I could take umbrage that he outdueled him in the playoffs when Stafford threw for more yards and as many touchdowns. But his team won. Okay, so you're right.
You just had to mention this. So what? At the end of the day, he did exactly what Stafford did.
He won.
No turnovers, 3 touchdowns. That's what Stafford did.
And he won.
Yeah.
And
he won the Super Bowl.
And that's the crowning achievement.
Yeah.
And you can look at the 20 turns during the regular season that led the league.
Yeah, he
didn't do it in the postseason,
but did he do it in the moments that matter?
Right,
and that's the flip side of Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Jared Goff has a lot of great stats, a lot of great numbers, but a lot of times it's in games that don't matter or it's in moments that don't matter. You need him in the moments that matter. Because Sam Darnold didn't turn the ball over and they won a Super Bowl. I'm not saying he's better than Jared Goff per se.
I know.
But when the moments that matter, Jared Goff had 5 turnovers last year.
Yeah. Look, I'm sticking up for you. I
appreciate you.
I don't disagree with you. The Sam Darnold is based on what he did with the Jets, everybody's philosophy. What he did with the Jets and what he did with Carolina, and maybe even if you remember San Francisco, instead of last year and this year. If Jared Goff's numbers were like Sam Darnold's the last 2 years, even though they didn't do great in the playoffs last year and got blown out by the Rams, and it was a crowning achievement this year, that's what everybody would be talking about. But because it's Sam Darnold, because it's a guy who is, many people believed, underachieved when he first got to the league, they don't want to admit. I give you credit for putting him at 2. I wouldn't have, but I understand the philosophy behind it, for sure.
Yeah, it's just about right now. At the end of the day, Jared Goff, you want to get above this list, you and your team do better. So he won the Super Bowl this season. He's had 2 years of success. It goes to consistency for me. This wasn't like last year. He won the Super Bowl with the Minnesota Vikings, and now I'm putting him number 2 on the list behind Stafford. And you're like, wait, he hasn't done anything. Yeah. You would be actually correct. But to come and do it legitimately for the Minnesota Vikings, who, by the way, you weren't playing for that team the year before. Mm-hmm. So you had to learn the system, learn the team, learn the squad, do that, win 14 games, and play against the Lions twice. Tough. You still won 14 games. And then to turn around, have to learn another system on the West Coast, whole new system, whole new situation, figure that out. And you did. I give him a lot of credit for those last 2 years. Yeah, that's why he's 2 on this list.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's hard to make a case for somebody other than that, okay? So if somebody said Dak Prescott or Jordan Love or whatever, I'm not talking about Tyler Shuck here, okay? We're talking about guys who are in the conversation. It's hard to make the case above Sam Darnold. Alex mentioned he's got a really good team around him. Find me the quarterback, the last quarterback who won a Super Bowl, didn't have a good team around him. Yeah. Number 1. Number 2, Jared Goff had a pretty good team around him too. And where did they go? And when I say that with all due respect to Jared Goff, who I like, and I want quarterbacking the Lions. How many other quarterbacks had 2 1,000-yard receivers on his team? How many other quarterbacks had a top 5 running back? How many other quarterbacks, even if you want to go to the defensive side, had a top 5 rush end, had a top 5 linebacker? It's a team sport.
And realistically, as flawed as the Lions' offensive line was last year, when healthy, they're the same offensive line as the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks got 2 really good linemen, and then they got 3 guys trying to figure it out. They got Gray Zabel, and they have Charles Cross, who was hurt in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Gray Zabel, pretty damn good.
That's why I said Gray Zabel and Charles Cross. Those are the guys. The other 3 you're trying to figure out. Same with the Lions. They have left tackle, right tackle. Mm-hmm. So
I suppose the one thing is that Goff was sacked more this year than any time in his career.
Yes.
He was sacked 38 times. Now, how much is that because he is basically a domino back there, doesn't move off his spot? I don't know.
He's got that spin move lately. He's been doing that spin move a lot,
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to confuse his spin move with Cade Cunningham, but I hear what you're saying.
That's the other thing, too. Yeah. Like, when I'm watching Sam Darnold, like, guys can get mad at me for choosing this. When I watched Sam Darnold in the playoffs this year, whether it was Super Bowl, whether it was a game against the Rams, he stayed in the pocket. He made the throws that matter. Mm-hmm. And also, he doesn't have the most mobility, more mobile than Jared Goff for sure. But when it's a play and he's like, shoot, let me just little slide here, little step up here. Let me get these 3 yards here. Those are things that I watched him do. Yeah. Those are things that I have not seen Jared Goff do. So just maybe it's recency bias, but I'm going to take him at 2.
But especially when he moves up in the pocket and you see somebody tugging at his jersey and he's able to get away and keep his eyes downfield, I thought that was one of the strengths of this year. Okay, I think number 1 is pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
100%.
Okay.
So, we give him enough flowers for the last 365, but he's 1.
Right, yeah. When you're the MVP, it's tough to say no against that. And as we talked about, and this may not be fair to Drake May, who's in the AFC, Stafford's numbers against that Seattle defense, 3 games this year, over 900 yards, 8 touchdowns, no picks. with a very high quarterback rating or passer rating of like 127, I think. May this year against Seattle, you know the numbers. Really good stuff. Thank you. Yeah, it's a good debate.
You had a question. Did you want to ask that question? You want to save it for tomorrow? Because I can spawn this conversation into the Sam Darnold conversation.
At what point are we going to? At what point do you believe in an athlete? I ask this quite a bit, but I think it's relevant in a lot of different topics. When do you believe? Yes, he's changed my mind. It's hard to do that. It is. It's really hard for people to change their mind on athletes. It's hard to change people's minds in general. But I don't even think Matthew Stafford with an MVP. I know one person who it doesn't change his mind, and he's a friend of all of ours. Okay, he's not moving off that spot because he's dug his heels in. Period. Sam Darnold. When do you believe? What does he got to do? If he wins a Super Bowl, what does he got to do? He's got as many Super Bowls as Drew Brees and Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford. When do you believe?
I think for me, how I believe or when I believe is when they consistently do it. I'm firm on the consistency. When you can do something consistently, when you can do a thing at a high level consistently, now I start to believe. Now when you can take some of those things where people will point out, this is what this person isn't good at. This is where you can beat this person. This is where this person may struggle a little bit. When you start turning some of those negatives into positives, or when they cease to become negatives, that's when I think they continue to prove how good they are, or they prove an individual wrong. Every quarterback, no matter what level you get to, Shep, you're going to player, but since we're talking about quarterbacks, every quarterback has something to prove at every level. I wrote some down.
You lived through it.
Patrick Mahomes. They already got him in the conversation with Brady. Like, I don't know how he jumped Montana, but that's neither here nor there. They have him in the conversation as one. He has something to prove. Can he do it again? Can he get the Kansas City Chiefs back to where they were, like Tom Brady did? Can he do it again without Travis Kelce, who's gone, and without some of the other individuals, like Joe Montana, when he won 2 and they took a little break, then he got benched, and then the following year in '88 they come back and won.
There's doubters out there.
Mahomes has some. Josh Allen, is he really him? Like, as simple as, is he really him? Or is he just this talent, like this talent in the regular season, kind of like Dak Prescott, which is another individual.
Right.
Joe Burrow, are you more than a quarterback?
Right.
Are you more than quarterback efficiency? Because quarterback right now, when I think Joe Burrow, I think he's efficient quarterback as hell. Nothing behind it.
Right.
Like, nothing behind. Lamar Jackson, Matt Stafford, can he get to the next level? Can he crack the top 10? Is he top 10 worthy?
Right.
Or is it a situation where he had 3-4 good years? And
It's hard to put a guy
Brock
top.
Purdy, Drake May, everybody has something to prove. And once they prove it to you, guess what? They enter another level, another conversation of now having to prove.
It's hard to put those guys in the conversation. I don't care who it is. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. If you're not winning a Super Bowl, or you're not getting your team to a Super Bowl,
You're still stuck at that prove it point.
It's really hard, don't you think?
Once you prove it, now is can you win another one? But to your point, Sam Darnold, the Sam Darnold quarterback, the one that has to prove it is the guy who gets to a team that finally understands him, that can finally put things around him, that it can come out. And that guy is Sam Darnold just won. Baker Mayfield was a number one that's going down to Tampa trying to figure himself out. C.J. Stroud will be a guy. And then also, too, Jared Goff.
Sure.
Jared Goff is in that conversation where he's been to a Super Bowl with the Rams, but the way he was ushered out, it started bad from here. It's picked up. Now we want to see can Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions, because it's more than just the quarterback. Can the Lions take enough pressure off of the shoulders of Jared Goff to provide him with defense and offense to help him do what Sam Darnold did? Because it wasn't just Sam Darnold that won that Super Bowl.
And it's a fair expectation. It's okay to ask the question. It doesn't mean you don't like the guy. It doesn't mean you don't respect him. It doesn't mean you don't want him as your quarterback. It's fair to have the expectation, as you always bring up. Dallas is having the same damn conversation about Dak Prescott. I don't care if he's the all-time leader in yards thrown for Dallas, more than Troy Aikman, more than Roger Staubach, more than Don Meredith, all those guys, right? It doesn't matter. Winning matters.
This
is
true.
Can you get to that next level? And Jared Goff's going to have to do that. There's no doubt. Anything in the mailbag before we're out of here, and is anything close to breaking news? Even though I know the heavyweights want to break it.
Breaking news.
No breaking news
news
just yet, man. I'm sitting here looking. Nothing yet. We do have one more mailbag super chat, actually.
Okay.
Randall Smalls with $2 super chat. He says, last night solidified B-Ball Paul jersey. So Paul Reed jersey looks to be in Randall Smalls' future. I see you over there,
baby.
Alex.
Shout out, baby.
I like that.
All right, here's the last trivia question before we're out of here. Ready?
Yes, sir.
Give me the one team that
Michigan.
has more starting quarterbacks in the Super Bowl for that franchise than any other. The team that has the most different starting quarterbacks in Super Bowl history.
I see what you're saying. Let me think about this. 49ers had 3.
Is it the
Steelers have had 1,
Packers?
2,
Packers
3,
had
4.
what?
Green Bay?
Green Bay's had 1, 2, 3.
The number is 5.
Ooh.
And Braylon Edwards is the one who got it.
Uh-oh.
It's San Francisco. They have had Joe Montana, Steve Young,
sense.
Brock Purdy.
Colin Kaepernick,
Oh.
Jimmy Garoppolo,
That's the sneaky one. Snap.
Brock Purdy. All right?
Shout out to Shep.
That's why I was saying
That's not a bad one to leave.
Porno
Jan.
Jimmy.
That's why I thought Green Bay.
Strikes again.
It's not a bad one to leave, Jan. It might be something we could bring up again on some other either positions or
It's not bad by
teams that have
yourself.
the second most. Not bad. But
Shout
it
out.
kind of fits in with your quarterback
It does.
situation with the NFC. We're back tomorrow here at 2 o'clock. Woodward Sports will be talking about the suspensions that should come down sometime soon here for the Pistons here on Woodward Sports.
10.
10
suspensions.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep,
Do you believe this comeback?
your favorite sports commentator, as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.